In today's video, we're going to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Marvel's in a very interesting position at the moment because they have literally had flop after flop after flop. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is their only movie, realistically, in the last 2 years that's made a decent profit. Yes, we will discuss the Jonathan Majors situation. There's been a lot of misleading clickbait, YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram posts, Twitter posts going around saying, oh, they're ditching the Kang storyline. They're ending the Marvel franchise. The XMen are gonna be females. You need to understand that realistically, respectfully, most of these so-called insiders don't know anything. They are not Kevin Feige. But some of them, like Alex Perez, are more credible. Alex Perez literally called everything that happened in the Loki season finale. So there's a few of them that are more credible than others. But if you're going to put them on a pedestal, you need to knock them down when they get things wrong. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? If you're new around here, what are you freaking doing if you're new on this channel? Yo, we've been going for a long time. I'm one of the OGs in this field. So, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Also check us out on Twitter, WarStewG. We're going to go over an article that Alex Perez wrote on thecosmiccircus.com, which goes over various things that he suggests that it will be happening going forward with Marvel and how potentially Marvel can get the fans back. But before that, we're going to go over some pretty funny tweets that I found from some less credible people. So, Avengers Secret Wars is shaping up to be a 2-movie. A source says it's a 5-hour movie with a year-long intermission via Jeff Snyder. So, like I say, if you're going to put him on a pedestal, you need to knock him down. Jeff Snyder has a 40% track record. 40% of the stuff he says is right. 60% of the stuff he said is wrong. He's had so many misses. To be fair, they've all had misses. But I know a lot of you guys think I come at these Twitter scoops. I don't. It's just, if you're going to start making their little posts go viral, you need to put them on blast when they get things wrong. And Jeff Snyder has had a lot of stories wrong in the past year. And realistically, anybody could tell they were going to do the Avengers storyline when it comes to Avengers Secret Wars and split it into 2 movies. This is actually from a Reddit post over a year ago. Yes, Reddit and 4chan is more reliable than most of the so-called scoopers. Now, I have personally got nothing against them, but I do read the comment sections. People go, oh, you spend half of your videos talking about the Twitter scoopers. Right. Yeah, because if you're going to talk about what they're saying, you need to make it clear how credible said person is when you're talking about it. So this information is nothing new. Saying it's going to be a 5-hour movie with a year-long intermission. Yeah, the plan's always been to mix it up and have it like Avengers 4 and 5. Literally nothing is new in this article, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, I know some people don't like my style of how I say certain things, but at least I'll give you a rundown in the sense of, is it true, isn't it true, and what not to believe and what to believe, because I've been at this game a long time and I know what I'm talking about. Marvel intended for Jonathan Majors to play every version of Kang in the MCU. A decision on what to do with the character has not been made. I mean, this is going back from the 18th of this month. So essentially what was going to happen was, allegedly, according to Variety, they were going to start filming early 2024, which I don't actually believe, because where is the freaking script, bro? The writer's strike only ended in November. The script's nowhere near done, and now they may have to pivot away from it. So I don't believe they're going to directly go all the way away from the Kang. You've probably seen every single YouTuber, every TikToker going, they're going to keep Kang. They're ditching Kang. Doom is coming in. And let's just be clear. Ryan Gosling, respectfully, no one wants you as Doom. There is only one human being alive who can play Dr. Doom and who has the acting ability to be a serious boss in the MCU, and that is my good friend Cillian Murphy. The problem is now, every time an actor meets with Marvel, it's for Dr. Doom. It could literally be for anybody, right? This is a multiversal saga, so it could be for anybody. That's why I don't really take what Twitter scoopers say as, you know, truthful. I just take it as fan casting. So Alex Perez, like I say, if you go back to the videos we did on Loki Season 2 and when we went over his information, he was pretty much bang on with everything he said. So he's published an article saying Marvel Studios' next serious arc, and it does look like Marvel will be making a massive shift, which has been needed for the longest time ever. Marvel Studios wants quality over quantity. Marvel seeks to carry out the quality over quantity approach that it had aimed in the past. One measure they plan to incorporate is allowing directors and writers to tell stories that seek to tell whilst relaxing the need for connectivity with other corners of the MCU. The goal is to develop projects that are well received and can stand on their own, whilst also ensuring rewatchability amongst fans. And I honestly think the death of the MCU really came with Disney Plus. Disney Plus was not needed. Another measure Marvel wants to take place is developing smaller story arcs, moving forward instead of more immense epic scale sagas. They need to have a degree of interwoofness between them. While it is a shared universe and heroes are bound to interact with one another, these arcs will help establish boundaries between each level of the MCU, from street level to cosmic level, which has been needed, and realistically anyone could have said that. So apparently you're going to do this with KingPin and the Devil's Reign. One of the story arcs fan can look forward to in the up-and-coming phase of the multiversal saga. Devil's Reign story arc from the comics. In the comics, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, was elected as the mayor of New York City. His first act as mayor was outlawing heroes, and by declaring them vigilantes, using an army of supervillains at his disposal to get rid of the costume vigilante. According to sources, Marvel Studios seeks to adapt the storyline throughout the MCU with the Dark Reign and Gang War. Storylines are referenced for particular story arc. The main projects involved in Pacific story arcs are Hawkeye Season 1, which kind of set up Echo, I guess, Echo, Daredevil Born Again, and Spider-Man 4. Now, if this is true, that is cool. More Hulks and World War tensions. Now, I don't know if they actually have the license back from Universal. It's always up in our rim, and like I say, it's really hard to believe what the insiders say on Twitter because they make up most of the stuff, and that's not me commenting on that. It's just factually correct. The amount of back and forth they've done over the last 2 years tells you that. So they're going to do this via primary focus of the MCU will be topic of world politics, but within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not political agendas in the real world, via the solution of this COVID cause was unsuccessful in maintaining world peace as global tensions continue to rise with gradual increase of numbers of superpowered individuals and metahumans events worldwide. Therefore, governments are actively seeking ways to counteract these potential threats moving forward. Now, this sounds pretty decent. Some countries will seek materials and elements to develop weaponry capable of disarming metahumans, such as using Stark's technology and exploiting elements like vibranium and adamantium, which is the metal for the Wolverine claws. Others will turn to creating their own metahumans that are under government authority. The main projects involved in Pacific story arcs are The Falcon and Winter Soldier, She-Hulk, Season 1, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Secret Invasion, which, yeah, we did see it massively, Captain America, Brave New World Order, and Thunderbolts. According to our sources, one of the critical elements in the story arc is Bruce Banner and Jennifer Walters' blood and their ability to synthesize gamma ray that allows them to transform into the Hulk. Bruce has been trying for years to keep his powers under wraps. I'm not reading it word for word. I'm, breaking it down, basically, to ensure no one can ever become the Hulk again. Ultimately, Bruce Banner efforts will fail as Marvel Studio intends to introduce more Hulks into the MCU. The first one will be introduced in Captain America, the Brave New World Order. As we know, President Thunderbolt Ross, played by Harrison Ford, will be the Red Hulk. According to our sources, they will dive into consequences of the MCU, potentially leading to World War Hulk. If they have the rights from Universal, cool story, bro. The project has been described as Civil War style project. They're trying to do that because obviously the other Civil War was pretty good. And acting as an Avengers 4.5 in which heroes will band together to take on several Hulks. Interesting. threats around the globe. Armor Wars, Ironheart, and Iron Man Legacy. Fans of Tony Stark and Iron Man can expect his legacy to be explored throughout the process and projects such as Ironheart and Armor Wars, initially set far back as Iron Man 2. The goal of this arc is to show fans what would happen if other people got their hands on Stark technology. So that's pretty interesting. The arc has slowly developed behind the scenes from Avengers, Endgame, in projects such as Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Wakanda Forever, and Secret. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this information could be made up because they have made it pretty clear that it looks like they're setting all this stuff up. So, although Alex Perez is a lot more credible than most of the other Scubas, I'm not saying this is true, it just looks like it could go that way. Ironheart and Armor Wars will serve as final projects in this arc, wherein each will highlight people who honor Stark's legacy by using his technology, developing similar techs for good. In contrast, others will seek to use his legacy and technology for personal gain, which, yeah, I mean, makes a lot of sense. We have learned from our sources the ramifications of Iron Man's storyline throughout the Infinity Saga will be a critical factor for these projects. This includes the aftermath for some of the notorious villains, such as Justin Hammer and Ultron. Young Avengers and the next generation of the MCU. Now, this is where it goes completely wrong because no one cares for the Young Avengers. Multiple sources have already confirmed to us Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, Casey Lan, America Chavez, Billy Maximoff, and Tommy Maximoff are expected to be part of a lineup for the Young Avengers. Some sources have mentioned other possible members, such as Riri Williams, so on, Scar, so on and so forth. However, these members in particular were not confirmed by our sources. WandaVision's story arc will continue allegedly in the Agatha series. The Rise of Midnight Suns, which, yes, we've wanted that for a long time, and that will be explored in Blade, Ironheart, Marvel, Zombies, Moon Knight Season 2, the continuation of Werewolf, Devil by Night. Some sources have mentioned that Lilith or Mephisto villains have been considered the big bad of this arc. One source has mentioned that the potential lineup for Midnight Suns features the current Sorcerer Supreme, one as one of the leads of the team, alongside Mahershala Ali's Blade. Now, I've wanted this project for the longest time ever. Deadpool 3 and the Age of the Mutants. Now, there's been a lot of fake news going around about this, so this will be interesting. With the direct connection to the larger MCU remain very unclear, sources indicate that the X-Men will serve as the original reference for future alliterations. Some examples include Professor X in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Dr. Hank McCoy in The Marvels, both of which are inspired by the design of the original animated series. The series is also expected to run for multiple seasons, with the second season already being developed at the same time of writing this article. Interesting. We can confirm our sources that there have been discussions about mutants having a more pronounced role in the up-and-coming phase of the multiversal saga than initially anticipated. This is the hope of establishing mutants in a more meaningful way on Earth 616 before the conclusion of the series. Some ideas include a mutant series on Disney Plus, focusing on individual stories for several mutants, or an X-Men film under the Marvel Studios brand down the road prior to Avengers Secret Wars. According to one source, another idea that's been tossed around is Avengers versus X-Men film between the members of 616 and the X-Men. However, it's still too early to discuss, as the X-Men have not yet made their way to the 616 universe. Very interesting. That would be pretty cool. So Fantastic Four says this. According to sources, the film has been described as a cosmic adventure with multiversal implications. This will make it one of the essential films in the saga, as it will do a lot of the heavy lifting regarding the concept of the multiverse, leading to Avengers Secret. I mean, a lot of this, although I do rate Alex Perez and think he does have sources, a lot of this is pretty common knowledge, and you can, when I say common knowledge, you can literally guess this. Fans can also look forward to up-and-coming Wonder Man series. We hear from our sources that the show could connect to the up-and-coming Shang-Chi series. There are other sequels that fans can expect for coming years: Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Thor, Shang-Chi, and Eternals. Kang currently on standby. Actually, it's worth saying that this article was written, December the 21st. I'm only saying that so I can get a reference point for when it's talking about this Jonathan Majors part. We saw the last of Mages in the MCU, the release of Loki Season 2, in which he reprised his role as He Who Remains, and many variants such as Victorly Timely. By the show end, Loki has taken control of the multiverse and created the multiverse tree, which allows infinite timelines to continue to expand and grow upon the giant tree. Yeah, so they pretty much closed the Kang storyline if they wanted to. Some sources state they have discussions and plans for other multiversal villains to step up to the plate in the up-and-coming phase. This is, of course, an attempt to take control of the multiverse saga vacuum left in the absence of Kang the Conqueror and his variants. But make no mistake, for better or worse, Marvel ultimately still intends to close out the saga with a Kang variant being the final boss in Secret Wars. I mean, yeah, I've heard that. So this all sounds pretty cool, and I think it could get the fans back on board, for sure. So, like always, I know I haven't covered much Marvel content recently. That's because I'm trying to do less videos that come from Twitter scoopers because I don't really think they're very credible. But I will start covering Marvel leaks and news and stuff on a more regular basis. So hopefully some people watch this video. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at always to see the Be Face, my Be Voice. Let us know what do you think about all this information. Can it save Marvel? I think it can, as long as the information about Marvel having the female agenda push on the X-Men, as long as that rumor is completely fake, which it sounds, I think Marvel will be fine. It's just going to take some freaking time, and Deadpool 3 really needs to bang. So like always, guys, I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.